Okay, we're gonna let this, at least the main piece, dry up a little bit more. I will do the other 4 pieces after that's gotten to a point that I can get the rubber band off of it. And since this is just a lot rinse, lather, and repeat kind of thing. I'm going to do the rest of these off camera. Here is the roof. I went a little heavy with the glue just because the joists, the rafters, were kind of a little wonky from the one side. So that's all glued in. Now it is time to get it attached to the building itself. And before I get glue on it, sorry, you can't really see what I'm doing. Perfect. Just need to scoot out a few spots here and there. Just because of the slight warping on the roof and the bowing in from the warping and bowing in from the building, so that won't be too hard to just take care of. Then there are some trim pieces that I'll just hand paint with a ivory color, mainly just because it doesn't make a lot of sense to pull out the airbrush just for these pieces. So we're doing these first because you just put the shingle pieces over the rest of it, and I don't want to really be fighting up underneath shingles. So okay, let that sit, and if anything starts to peel up, I'll just tack a little bit of glue underneath it. But it looks like it should be fine. So I am going to hurry and get these last pieces, or get these pieces painted. I'm going to do that off camera, and then we'll get the rest of the trim put on, and should be done with this kit after that. Okay, I got the 2 pieces painted, so they're ready to go. The other edging is done. That's really all that's left, is just getting the edging on. The other thing that I did was I painted the end pieces of the joists that you could see. I felt that it would look better to have those painted as well, with having the rest of the stuff the ivory color as well. So this is another one of those things that the instructions really do not show where to really put it. And the picture makes it look like it could have been up along the bottom as well, or along the edge. But that's okay. No harm done. I ran out of space on my camera and didn't catch it in time, and did a little bit more work, but the one pieces of it trim that I wasn't sure on went here along the roof line. I may end up having to glue these, but they don't look too, they're staying pretty well just with the tape. So the other thing was there was some thin trim that I don't know where it went, and I figured that I'm going to just put it here along the dock. For two reasons. One, I think it looks good. But the other reason is, in practicality, keeps carts or dollies away from the building and ruining it, or going into the the side of the building. So that is all that is for this freight and packing structure. Get it up a little closer to the camera and you can see it. I did have a few frustrations with it, but that's with any kit. Mainly, how big my fingers are. It's just hard to get into building the small details every now and then. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to, the biggest problem that I had, and it's not even the kit's fault, it's that it's been sitting for so long that the wood had started to warp, and was able to fix that pretty quick and easily with just a little bit of water and weight, or once I got everything put in and built, even the walls going up with the roof, it helped push them back out so that everything was straight and how it needed to be. So I am going to get this down on the layout and film where that's going to be at, and we'll be back in just a bit. Here is the loading house down here on the layout. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's small enough that it doesn't detract from the background scenery, but it's also big enough that I can justify having 4 boxcars on the spur at any given point. This is the position that it's going to be at, or the location that it's going to be at. However, I may move it to the left or the right. I haven't quite decided on what I'm going to do with that yet. I wanted to get this down here as well to get it put into my operations scheme with JMRI and test it out a little bit, see how it'll work and what boxcars may get thrown here, to also help see if I need to reposition it a little bit. The plan is that I'll do some kind of road that comes off the dock area there so that trucks could back up to it, as well, and have kind of a dual loading area. So overall, I'm really happy with how it looks. I'm excited that it was a relatively easy kit to build. The only hard parts that were there were from the age of the kit and that the wood had warped a little bit, but even then that was an easy thing to rectify. And the only problems that I had with it were from having hands that are just huge compared to an N-scale building, and I have those issues with pretty much any kit that I build at N-scale. So hopefully you found this video enjoyable, maybe spark some ideas for your layout. Maybe if you've had this kit, have been hesitant to build it, it gives you the courage to build it. Or if you think you may want it, you can start hunting for it and see if you can find it. But overall, I was very ecstatic that I was able to get this kit and know that I could put it here, because I'd been racking my brain of what industry I could put here that wouldn't detract from the background but looked like it belonged, and this kit fulfills both of those. So thanks for watching, and we'll see everybody in the next video.